one does not simply become a card lord. But just because something isn't simple doesn't mean that it's not something that you should strive to do. So I've been giving some tips from an OG perspective on how to succeed in the Splinterlands, or at least how my journey has gone and how I've done it. So becoming a card lord was one of the best things that I did in Splinterlands. And to define what a card lord is, it's just like it sounds. It's like a landlord, except instead of owning properties or rental properties or housing, you own cards, and the cards you're able to rent out to other players. So right away, I will say this is definitely not an easy thing to do when you're starting out. It's going to take significant resources, significant investment, and you should only become a card lord or strive to become a card lord if you really believe in the game and are really bullish on the game and believe in its future. So the way I think about being a card lord is, first a little background. Okay, so when I joined Splinterlands in the very beginning, and I started buying multiple copies of gold foil alphas, I only bought single units of cards. I didn't worry about combining cards or having the highest BCX possible, maxing cards out. I just bought separate cards that are relatively low level, and I thought maybe one day there would be a system where I could rent these cards out to players. I had no idea what that would look like at the time. I didn't know that it would be an automated system, or how easy it would be to use, or how it would even work. There were no rewards at all when I bought these cards. So there wasn't even a way to rent them, and there also was no currency in the game at that time. So it was a huge risk to do this strategy. But again, I believed in the founders, I believed in the vision of the game, and ultimately when the rental system came out, that automatically made me a card lord because I had prepared in advance for that moment. Now, for a new player getting started, this is definitely, I would say, a pretty advanced strategy. So not everyone is going to be able to do this. And if you are able to do this, it's going to take a tremendous amount of effort. But I want to be transparent about that. And I can't tell you whether it's going to be worth it or not. This is a video game. It's a highly speculative investment, essentially, where we don't know what's going to happen with regulation. We don't know what's going to happen with the future of the game. But any investment that you decide to enter is going to have a level of risk, and the less information you have, the more risky it is, but also the more potential upside. And this situation is not for everyone, but if you believe in Splinterlands, one of the ways that you can generate income is to become a card lord like I have done. So if you think about it, during the gold rush, for example, as an analogy, the people that made the most money were not the people that tried to rush in and tried to find gold. Very few people actually struck it rich that way. It's the people, the vendors that sold the gold miners, the axes, the picks, the shovels, the maps, the tools that they used to try to extract the gold. Those guys are the ones that made the most money. And so I'm not saying that you shouldn't consider owning Splinterlands assets because of the potential appreciation. That's part of this whole thing. But what I am saying is, along the way, as we figure this thing out together, and the Splinterlands dev team figures this out, there's a way to make money while this is happening. And particularly right now, because we can only use the information that we have at the time. Right now, owning gold cards, which is what I do exclusively, I don't have all of my cards are gold cards. They give you the most benefit via collection power for renting. And the reason that is you need a certain amount of collection power to enter lucrative tournaments, to achieve certain ranks in during a season. And this is all based on your collection power. So you can rent cards from me or another card lord simply for gaining access to the collection power, which allows you to get to higher levels, which allows you to earn more. So that's the reason why somebody would rent. And it's much cheaper to rent than to own the actual cards. So if someone's starting out, they may feel like they need to rent cards in the beginning. If you have a little bit more capital to deploy, you can own cards and get all the benefits of doing so. I like to look at it. I look at the cards like little royalties that are in perpetuity, which means that they last forever. Each card that I buy immediately will start generating an income stream for me, and I will own that asset forever. Because it's not like the cards go away or expire, and you don't have the same types of problems that you have or challenges being a traditional landlord. You don't have to maintain the cards or maintain the property. In the case of a landlord, you don't have to pay the for property taxes. You don't have to pay for upkeep. You don't have to deal with any sort of homeowners association. It's all you. It's like your own little business of a collection, a package of royalties, which I consider these cards to be. And not only are you generating the income in the form of dark energy crystals, which could be converted to fiat in the cards as a card lord, but you're also generating an additional form of income currently, because right now, as I'm making this video, there are over 100 more days left of the free airdrop, where you receive Splinter Shards, which is another token in the game's ecosystem, which have real world value, which you can convert to fiat if you so chose. I choose to take essentially all or most of my profits from being a card lord, and then I just purchase more assets with them, or more royalties, if you will, in the form of cards, in which I will rent out and then generate more income to buy more cards, and continue that positive, virtuous cycle. In addition to that, you own the cards, you own the assets. So any growth or appreciation that the game experiences gives you the potential to earn asset appreciation on your cards. So you are generating both short-term income in the form of SPS and DEC, and potential long-term capital appreciation in the form of the cards. So if you believe strongly in the future of the game, then becoming a card lord is one of the best ways to benefit from that growth and make money from that growth, in my opinion. This is significantly harder now than it was when I started, and that's why I'm saying this is going to be more of an advanced strategy, and you're going to have to deploy a significant amount of capital to make this happen if you want to become a card lord. But if the only reason that you would do this is that you believed in the game and you believe in the future of the game, and if you believe in the future of the game, you believe in growth, and then you believe that all of those assets should have a greater demand in the future, increasing your income stream. There are many things coming down the pipe which makes me believe that becoming a card lord, or being a card lord currently, still is very valuable, and perhaps more valuable than ever. There's going to be greater demand for the cards, the individual assets or royalties themselves in the future. If and when land comes out, you're going to need cards to work your land. There's going to be more value added as more people come in, and there should just be, it should continue this. If we continue this growth trajectory that Splinterlands has had, these assets could become more valuable. None of this is financial advice. This is just my perspective and my opinion. I have a core portfolio of stable assets besides Splinterlands assets, so that I'm prepared to take additional risk by taking this investment, which is far more risky than a traditional investment. So keep that in mind. I hope that's helpful for people to understand what being a card lord is, and if they choose to try to become one or not. If you enjoyed this video, please consider sharing my short form videos, which you can find on YouTube or Instagram at Our Gold Matters. Those videos are meant to try to grow this game and reach mainstream audience that haven't already heard of Splinterlands. So it's very helpful if you try to share those on social media. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope to make more videos in the future.